Hey guys, what is up? It is me, Pagey, here once again with another video on DC news across the DCU and also one other thing, and both across film and TV. So I think it's like 3 or 4, maybe 5 different projects here that has news regarding it, which is weird because we are, as we all know, moving towards that Comic-Con period of the year, but we're still waiting to know if we're going to be getting anything in regards to DC from Comic-Con. It's still a toss of the coin. I don't think it's still being announced yet whether they aren't or are attending. So if anyone's heard anything, let me know. But I've just, from stuff that's popped up on Twitter, I've not seen anything. So I'm still, I still got a hovering question mark in regards to that. But yeah, let me know in the comment section down below your various thoughts and everything we go over in this video. Always curious to where you guys are thinking, whether it's in regards to one thing or everything we go over in this video. Let me know, and of course, if you're going to enjoy the video, want to show your support, drop a like. Takes 2 seconds. But the first thing has to do with one of my most anticipated projects, probably my top 2 for this upcoming DCU, at least in regards to confirmed projects, and that is Booster Gold. Now, there had been some reports that Booster Gold will be, finished filming by the year, and they'd already cast Booster Gold, and all these different production reports, and James Gunn, I'm pretty sure, has denied all of that, I think. And this thing came out, I don't know whether he confirmed or denied it. Usually if he just leaves it, it probably means it's true, but if he jumps in and says, no, it's not true, probably means it's not true. But this doesn't involve who they've cast as Booster Gold, or when it's filming, or any other characters associated with it, might I say, or maybe potentially, maybe one of these people might appear in the show if this is true. But this is in regards to the writing side of it. And this is coming from Nexus Point News, who I think reported the Green Lantern stuff, which I think James Gunn confirmed, or at least said that was partially true or something like that. But anyway, they're reporting that the following names are attached to write the Booster Gold series. So they're not specifying the pilot like it had been said with the Lantern show. This is, I guess, the entire series, this is not going to be as big as Lanterns, or as obviously as big as some of the movies, but it's still probably going to be a show with a decent budget, but maybe it's probably just better, especially in a comedy show, which Booster Gold will most likely be, or at least have a decent amount of comedy, that you have the same writers attached to it, from beginning to end. So yeah, according to Nexus Point News, with Booster Gold, DC Studios is tapping into Danny McBride, John Carcieri, and Jeff Fradley, who are the creative team behind the HBO Max show, The Righteous Gemstones. Now, I've only seen a couple of episodes of that, but this is clearly a show I think James Gunn watches, if this is true, because also Skylar Gisondo, who's playing Jimmy Olsen, was in this show as well. Now, Danny McBride, if you see him, you might not necessarily, recognize the name, but once you see him, you'll be like, oh, you've seen him in a bunch of movies, especially whether it's Tropic Thunder or some of the James Franco, Seth Rogen movies in years gone by. Obviously, and he's in The Righteous Gemstones as well, and then some other HBO shows as well, like Vice Principals. Why am I forgetting the goddamn baseball show? I can't remember the name on top of my head. What's the show called? Now it's just I've just had a brain fart. But anyway, he's a funny dude. And he also did write the Halloween reboot. I'm not really into the Halloween movies, so I didn't see it, but I think that first one was pretty well received for the most part. But yeah, I think with the Booster Gold series, the tone they're going for, I think this writing team fits, especially with Danny McBride leading it up. It just makes me wonder, because he also is an actor, whether he plays a role in the show. I highly, highly doubt he would play Booster Gold, but maybe he plays Skeets. I don't know, something like that. The next few things have to do with Superman. So the first thing is, we did get a first look at some sort of Daily Planet logo, or at least some sort of branding for it. I don't know if it's necessarily the logo, because you expect the Daily Planet to have the planet. But anyway, at least it's some sort of branding for it. And then also a footage of the streets of Metropolis that will be used for Superman, which is going to be filming in Cleveland, Ohio. They are filming in other bits of Ohio, I think, currently, or in recent times, in recent weeks, but they're going to be filming the actual streets, and this is sort of what Metropolis will look like. So you can see the video on screen, just sort of going through and everything like that. I think it looks fine. James Gunn had talked about that he sort of was not necessarily going to replicate, but he wanted, I guess, Metropolis to look like you see it more in the comics and even some of the animated stuff, where it has not necessarily, I don't know if retro futuristic is the term, because that's a bit different, but just that general aesthetic, if you want to put it. So this sort of feels like they can make that work from this. And another thing was Superman, which, no other details were specified in regards to it, but it was revealed that some characters from Creature Commandos, which of course is going to be premiering later this year, will be appearing in Superman. Now, this could be just minor cameos. We don't necessarily know. That's a wait and see. Yeah, and it could be like some characters, you know, I don't know who like specifically it could be, because we do know that the people that are voicing them in the show are going to be playing them in live action, so they might just want to set that, you know, that standard first, because we do know that Frank Grillo is going to be playing Rick Flag Sr. in Peacemaker after first voicing him in Creature Commandos. So is he going to be in Superman, or is it going to be some other characters from Creature Commandos making their live action debuts as well, like David Harbour as Frankenstein or whatever it is? So it's a wait and see. Probably maybe won't find out until the actual movie comes out, because they might keep it as a surprise. But then it does make you wonder, will Superman appear in Creature Commandos and play a voice? Who knows? But one final thing with Creature Commandos, we've been wondering when the hell is this show coming out, because it is the official start of this new DCU under James Gunn, and you know, we'd heard fall, and then there's like, well, the Penguin's coming out, you know, so, and like really like pretty much towards the beginning of fall, so it's like, well, Creature Commandos come out at the same time, and it looks like they're going to let they're going to let the Penguin run its course, air of its episodes on a weekly basis, and then it looks like Creature Commandos will come out a few weeks after that, because it's going to be premiering in December, so right at the end of the year. They're leaving it go pretty much as late as possible, you know, but that could just be because it's animation, it takes a bit longer, and they might have changed some things potentially, I don't know, but yeah, it's coming out in December. It's like, I think one of the early reports said October, that might have been right at the time, but yeah, this is the current premiere date, and or premiere area of December 2024. But of course, the next HBO Max show that should be coming out, or HBO, just Max, I keep saying HBO Max, but yeah, I guess just Max show that will be coming out after Creature Commandos will be Peacemaker Season 2. Of course, you don't know specifically when that would be. You would assume it would come out probably after Superman comes out, which is in July. Is it July? I think it's July. It's coming out to June, whatever it is. So anyway, around this time next year, I don't know if they'd bring it out just before it. And also, yeah, I don't know. They'd probably let Superman come out, and even then they might give it a bit of breathing room until Peacemaker comes out. But then, of course, we don't know the specific timeline or how events carry on or don't carry on from Superman into Peacemaker or vice versa. So it's a wait and see, I guess. But we did get a couple of casting reveals, which, you know, they're not going to break the door down outside of one, because it's being kept a secret who they're playing, so this could be a bit of a bigger thing. They're just interesting, you know, especially for the show, but they're nothing like groundbreaking where you theorize too much on it. But Tim Meadows is going to be playing Langston Fleury. Not too sure how you'd pronounce that surname. Tim Meadows, you'd recognize him whether it's from Saturday Night Live stuff, you know, Mean Girls. He's in Mean Girls, some of the Adam Sandler movies as well in the past. Is he the one that said? No, it wasn't him, was it? I was going to say Grizzly Adams. No, it wasn't that. That wasn't him, I don't think, was it? Anyway, he's in like Benchwarmers and stuff like that. He's a comedic actor, so he's going to fit into the show of Peacemaker. And the other two castings were Sol Rodriguez and David Denman, who you'd recognize from The Office. Well, David Denman, at the very least, you'd recognize from The Office, and they've joined the second season of the show. This was first reported by The Wrap. Rodriguez, or Sol Rodriguez, is playing as Sacha Bordeaux, while David Denman's role has been kept under wraps, which makes you wonder, it's probably important to the story, and maybe this revealing who his character is maybe gives up some of the plot, or maybe gives a future twist away, so it's better just to leave it until the show comes out, or close to the show coming out, until you reveal who the hell he's playing. But in the comics, Sacha Bordeaux was first primarily associated with the character of Batman, including being a love interest for him, and then she subsequently developed an association with Checkmate, which has had connections with Amanda Waller's Suicide Squad or Task Force X. And we have heard that, like, you know, Amanda Waller's sort of like, I guess the end of Peacemaker plays into Creature Commandos, which then plays into Peacemaker Season 2. So, and then of course we have the Waller show coming up as well. So it wouldn't be too surprising maybe if this character of Sol Rodriguez then plays into Waller as well, and maybe they're setting up some characters within Peacemaker Season 2 to then play into that show as well. But that's just all theories. At this moment, that's a wait and see. But yeah, fine. As I said, like when it comes to like just these type of castings, especially when it's Peacemaker Season 2 has that question mark above it in regards to what it's really doing, in regards to its canon especially, and really whether anything from Season 1 majorly matters going into Season 2, you just look at the castings and go, okay, whether they seem interesting or not, and then just sort of move on. There's no point too much in regards to like theorizing with it. And the final thing is that We had heard that, you know, the Crisis movie was, or the Crisis 3-part event was coming out this year. We've already got 2 of those parts, the third one coming out fairly soon. And we also had, or also knew that Watchmen was coming out. And this is also a 2-part event. So it's not just one thing, it's a 2-part movie event. I guess Warner Brothers Animation trying to make as much money as possible and splitting it up. Anyway, they released the trailer for it, or the first little teaser trailer for it. It's only like 40 seconds. I just probably played a quick bit of it on screen right now, because I don't want to get copyrighted or copywritten or copyright striked. That's probably the best term to use. It's interesting in a way in where I'm wondering, like, I know it's a trailer and it's short as well. So it's one of those things where, especially with Watchmen, you just sort of got to watch it and just see what it's like. So watch The Watchmen. Or who's watching The Watchmen? I don't know. Hopefully most of you, so it does decently well. I did see people criticizing it, just saying it just looks like an animated version of the Snyder movie. But the thing is, Zack Snyder just made a live action, like a literal live action version of the graphic novel. Most of it is just panel for panel, but in live action. And that's maybe why the movie didn't work 100%. I still think it's one of his better DC movies. It's not maybe his best DC movie or DC related movie, just because it is pretty much incredibly faithful to the original graphic novel, but they're different mediums. That's why the movie doesn't work all the time, because it's trying to replicate a different medium. It's like how some things in a book won't work in a movie, or vice versa, because you need a different experience with it, or whatever it might be, or it's translated differently. But yeah, it's a 40-second trailer or something like that, so it just does look like a lot of different shots that you would have seen in live action from the Zack Snyder movie. But as I said, it's because that was like just page to screen, full on 100% adaptation in regards to what you saw. So I don't know why people are surprised by that, but I don't know. I don't know if these movies are rated or not, because I think with Watchmen, you sort of have to sort of at least go a bit, you know, or push it a bit in regards to showing some things, but we'll wait and see what happens there. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, it'd be awesome. Go drop a like on it, show support. Let me know in the comment section down below your various thoughts and everything we go over. Always curious to read what you guys are thinking. And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, and I will catch you guys later. Goodbye.